Hello there guys, it's Qwerty Afro. Welcome to my first Train Simulator 2019 64-bit video. Today will be, I'm just joking, but this is a next-gen, better graphics 64-bit train sim game, but just has lovely stunning visuals, but has actually no content to play. But I'm kidding, you know, Train Sim 2019 is coming out soon, and that's it's great because, you know, 64-bit is something that really can unlock that game's potential of just better stability, etc. It's like basically if OMSI went to like a more stable kind of thing, and hopefully Lotus Simulator, which is something hopefully I could get into soon with my kind of return to my YouTube channel. It's that kind of like level up there for that game. Nothing's going to be visually changed with Train Sim 2019, but it's more like the under the bonnet kind of changes. But I was just playing a little like joke around with you guys with I'm not in Train Sim 2019 64-bit. I am in Train Sim World, kind of the forgotten Train Sim, but it's there, it's getting developed on, it's getting better, I guess, like kind of stability wise, but content wise and actually features wise, not so kind of good. Like there's still nothing really grabbing me and like saying that this is something new except for the graphics, really. But you know, I'm back. It's me, Qwerty Afro. How are you guys doing? I've not like spoken to you guys in so long. It's been ages, like 2-3 months. I do apologize. I do these hiatuses quite regularly, and you know me, like if I can't, if I like, you know, management of my time and stuff outside of YouTube is a bit hectic. I cannot commit my time and my effort and my attention to YouTube, as well as my kind of like willingness and my kind of passion for making content and making videos. If it's not like there, like if I don't want to make videos, I'm not going to force myself just because, oh, I have this many subscribers or whatever. I don't care if my views go down or whatever like this. This is just my kind of thing I want to do. It's my hobby. It's my kind of fun thing to do on the side, and I do like making content for you guys, and this, you know, things have like freed up for me that I can come back, and my willingness and my passion and my kind of, you know, my drive for it is, you know, back again with it. Things like what I'm going to be getting back into, obviously, like Train Sim World, Train Sim 2019, more Bus Sim 18 with Game and Mike, and that co-op multiplayer series. There's things like Lotus Simulator that's actually come out in like a build that I really want to get into. There is Metro Simulator that I actually want to get onto as well, because I think it's on 3.14 now, and there's quite a lot of things to do in it. There's like a Glasgow Metro subway that you can actually drive in it, so there's quite a lot of things that I actually have to return, and even some new games that have actually developers, while I've actually been on break, have actually been sending me. So there's a lot of things that are excitingly waiting to be adventured in, and I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully now towards the kind of like holiday periods of Christmas, I can get back into the swing of things. You guys can expect hopefully regular in quotes, content from me, and I hope to bring it to you guys. So today, my kind of return video back, I'm in Train Sim World. There's been a few routes that have actually come out with me being absent, and even before, when I was making videos here and there was there was a few routes that came out while I was making videos, but I didn't really cover them because I wasn't playing Train Sim World that much at the time. I think the last thing I did was the New York Transit route, and then the S-Bahn Leipzig Metro route came out, and then this came out, which is the West Somerset Railway Heritage Line, and then recently now the Rugseg line. I don't know what it's called, but it's another German kind of S-Bahn suburban kind of like metro service style kind of route with double-decker trains, etc., and maybe at some point cover that as well. But I thought I'd go here. I should be going on rapid transit before this, but I wanted to do this first because it's obviously another UK route that I'm kind of more interested in. It's the West Somerset Railway. It is it looks gorgeous. You can just, like, I'm just looking at this loco and the lighting settings. I have it right now on the autumn clear kind of setting of weather, and I'm doing a service today, not a scenario. It will be from Minehead to what's the thing called? It's called Bishop Lydeard, if I'm saying that right. doing a kind of service on that way off the line. Things that I've been hearing about this route, because I have watched videos and coverage and stuff of people's opinions and stuff off this route. I think one of the biggest things is that obviously this route in real life is very heavily kind of steam orientated, steam driven. The diesels they have here, and these are the correct diesels they do have here in real life, they're not used that much. It's mainly steam. This service that carries tourists etc. on this West Somerset railway line is mainly steam hauled. So obviously you release a route that's predominantly steam with diesels. It's great because they're the accurate diesels, but these diesels don't really reflect the actual real life pattern of service. They're obviously brought out for diesel galas or whatever, or just like for extra services etc. But the main kind of thing that this heritage line does in real life is try to provide steam local hauled services. So obviously you release this route and people are like, where are the steam trains? Obviously they have not developed the steam yet to be released for like locos and stuff like that, but you know, it's diesel, it's what we're gonna get, and I'm gonna play through it for you guys today. The shoutouts before I get into the video go to Sense and X2K9. That's again Sense and X2K9. The links and stuff will be down below. If you would like a shout out, please use the QWERTY forms link below. That's the only way you'll be able to get one, so please do not comment in the comment section asking for a shout out. It is quite a lot of people who've been still waiting, probably even over a year now, because that list I just go through that list and that's it. Right. Obviously one thing with this route I just love is the visuals. Obviously it's beautiful. And even these locos, like this is the class 47, and then there is another diesel loco which is the class 09, which is more like shorter, kind of more like a hauling kind of diesel kind of thing that you see in depots, but this is the kind of main one that pulls a service if it's needed. I'm just gonna put on the thing here. Let us get I think I have to pick up passengers, or I think maybe let's unlock right and let's open the doors, because why not? But you know, we have some nice I don't know if these which mark coaches these are, or if these are just like I don't know about like heritage coaches or any of those kind of formations or whatever, so forgive me if I'm just looking at this coach and not really going to give you a sort of name or, you know, sort of label to give it. I know that that's a class 47 and I know that's a class 09, and that's about all the kind of knowledge I know of what wagons and stuff are run on this line. But we can lock the right doors now and actually get ourselves involved and get ourselves going. And we can catch up, because you know, we've not really talked to each other that much in recent times. Oh, we have another engineer on board. Right, so master key on. I think that should be closed. That's fine because it's already on. Right, I'm gonna go forward. I think the headlight now is on. Let's just release the brake fully. And let's get going. Oh, that's awkward. There we go. Release the... Oh no. It was released. Oh, you can see that's interesting. Like, I love the physics there. I'm not applying that much throttle, but obviously when I actually did the little introduction thing with this class 47, I applied the throttle at this kind of 8% or 10% mark, and it went off like slowly, and it went off straight away, because obviously it's not hauling anything, but obviously because this is now hauling a little bit of weight with these coaches behind us, it takes a bit more power. And I like that. I have to say that the physics in this game are good. Like, everything is good in terms of like the foundations and stuff of this game. I think the thing we want more from Train Sim World is that more features, more different things, and maybe even a little bit of management thrown in there. Like, we don't want an Euro truck for trains. Maybe we do, but maybe this is not the game for it. But we need a little bit of essence thrown in there to kind of give us some replayability. Alright, I'm just going to coast here because I don't really think we need to do anything. The line I think is mostly single track with kind of like areas to kind of like you know those areas, I don't know what they're called, those areas, you know, those areas where like it becomes it goes from single to double, and then it allows like services to pass each other. That crossing point, basically, if that makes any sense. I do like the sounds of the crossing. They're not annoying like they are in some of the older Train Sim 1 maps and in some other games. It's very nice. I love the setting I have it right now. This is kind of nice autumn, change of colour for the leaves. It's very, very nice. And we're just enjoying ourselves here, really. There's not a lot of clag, which I'm a bit ashamed. Like I hope they improve the this, because I think we can do better with the clag dynamics. I think smoke, someone should really just, like, I want a lot of smoke. I want like you know, when you turn it on, there's a lot, or even when sometimes it's running, you just have like some running instances where you have just really dark smoke coming out. I want some of that. I don't want just this little like puff of vape, basically. Let's hear a bit of how the horn sounds. Oh well, it's not that bad. Let's increase a bit of throttle. Let me see if I can put on, I think I want to put on the backing light, but I always forget what the backing light button is. But I haven't, this is my first genuine time actually just, ooh, compartment lights. Nope. This is my general first time playing, wait, why are most of these buttons don't work? Tail light. Desk light. There we go, beautiful. This is my genuine first time actually turning on Train Sim since like 3-4 months ago, since my last video. You know, the last video I think was the first drive on the New York transit route. That is generally my last time I turned on Train Sim World. There's been no reason for me to come back onto it. I think like with Train Sim, in my kind of career of playing it, I've turned it on and I've played it even off camera, off recording videos. Train Sim World, I've not actually ever, I don't think since it's come out or since it's been in beta, and especially not in beta, because it was a horrible game to play in beta. I never really played it by myself off camera, off recording. I only put it on to do recordings for you guys, and that's really the truth. One thing I do not like is that there's no camera sway in Train Sim World yet. There's no real kind of momentum. Like, it just, I feel very static and I feel very put in my seat, and there's just no sense that I'm actually driving something, except for the things actually, the actual vehicle moving and going forward. Which is a shame, because in the old Train Sim, in Train Sim 1, there's quite a nice bit of sway, and I think they've got the sway perfect in Train Sim 1, where it's really nice. Now, I don't think there'll obviously be a lot of signaling in this, because we're basically a single line here. And I don't think I can go. Oh, I thought I was going to go for a little walk and have a look at the engine compartment, but I don't think we can actually go in there, which is actually a shame. But do let me know your thoughts as well of this route. I would like to hear you guys' opinion. I've pretty much read and seen kind of more of the kind of opinions and stuff when this actually did come out and when people were covering it. But here's my take on just driving it so far. It's very pretty. Like, I think that's the biggest thing that I do like so far. It's very, very pretty. And we're coming up to our first station, which is Dunster. And oh, I have the thing to like alert me where I actually have to stop, which I don't mind actually. We can just have that on. I do like the you can hear the weight of the train rolling on the tracks and maybe gaps in the track. I like that kind of sound that you can hear. I wish more kind of like sounds in other routes and stuff could be like that. I don't know if that's good, but we'll just run with that, to be honest. That's okay. I'm content with that. Oh wow, look at all the passengers that came off. Like, let's be honest, this is not really, well, I don't know, maybe the West Somerset Railway is busy like this, but normally on these kind of heritage lines, it's mainly you get on the first stop, and all these intermittent stops are basically like a few people jump on or a few people jump off, but it's mainly like I've been to a heritage line up in the Lake District. I think it's called the Eskdale Railway, and you just hop on the first stop really, and then get off at the last stop and then do the return journey. I don't really think there's any point of getting off at other stops unless maybe people actually do use it for a service, which that's great, but that was a miniature railway that I was actually going on. This is actually a full gauged railway. But wow, it looks really nice. That's really pretty. And look at this wood and stuff. It's just so nice. It's a luggage compartment. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. I like that. We can close the doors now. Let's lock them. It'd be great if there was like a little whistle or something, you know, to just indicate that the doors are closing, because I'm sure there's a guard that's on this service. And oh, I like that. Some of these sounds are really good, actually. I'm pretty impressed. It's a nice like build up. It's not this isn't a metro service. We're not here to get 0 to 60 in under 5. You know, this is a nice gradual build up, and I'm here for that. I like a bit of overgrown vegetation on tracks. I think it looks really nice. Even in real life, I think it gives just character to like a line. Like, you know, obviously in more modern affairs and more modern lines, it's obviously good to have it all cleared up and it looks very clean and very, you know, very neat and stuff. But I do like a bit of, you know, a bit of nice foliage and stuff and overgrown kind of grass to a certain extent. I think another thing that people were saying about this route is that obviously the speed limits are very low, and that's obviously because it is heritage line. We're not gonna be darting around everywhere at 100 miles an hour here. People want to enjoy their time on board. But I like that. It's like, you know, I'm controlling. It's like a little tourist leisure tour. You know, it's like a cruise ship. We're not in any sort of rush here. You know, I have my buddy Sandra here, but we're chilling. Let's give it a bit more oomph. But I do like the sounds. I like the kind of rumbling, the thumping of the wheels and like probably gaps in the tracks and stuff like that. I like that. That sounds really nice to the ear that I'm hearing these things. The engine does sound a bit muted. In some aspects. I don't know if it's fully realistic to the actual 47 loco that's on this line. I'm pretty sure they did, because I've seen like promotion stuff where they actually did go to the West Somerset Railway, so I'm pretty sure they did get exact sounds. I hope they did. But you know, I think if in the future, once Steam gets implemented into this game, hopefully this route will get revisited and get some more, you know, steam locomotives added to it, which I'd be all for. You know, I think the thing with steam, I never was really a fan of steam in Train Sim 1. Never too, like, you know, I drove a few scenarios and stuff here and there, but I don't know, I think the whole simulation of steam in Train Sim 1 was just a bit like, oh yeah, just you're holding the pressure of the brake, and I don't know, even the sounds and the visuals and stuff of some steam engines in Train Sim 1 just didn't really appeal to me. But I would be willing to give a go with if the simulation's done right in this game, and obviously the visuals. Like, I think if you're looking at the clag now that's above on this class 4-7, I don't think it's pretty impressive. But once we obviously get to steam locomotives, this is not going to cut it. And I think maybe once they get like proper steam simulated, then there'll probably be, there'll probably be an update to like diesel locomotives and actual clag and stuff that comes out from like the 4-7 and even like the HST on the Great Western Express, as well as even the 166. That is really nice. I do like the lighting in this game is miles better than Train Sim 1, I have to say. Like, I just love, and it's these low light situations, well, or becoming low light, or like these wintry kind of situations, or autumn. I really do like that, even though it is the middle of the day. Just gonna apply a bit of brake here. Do a little horn there. I'm enjoying this. It's peaceful, and sometimes you need a little bit of peaceful driving. Right, put a little bit of throttle just on the on, so we can at least coast a bit. Next station is Blue Anchor. All good. I don't know if there's any AI. I think AI as well, obviously because it's a single line, you're not really going to get any sort of AI kind of services, so it's just basically me on this whole line. Maybe there is a service that's coming like back, and at a point we might pass it on like a siding place where we can like both come through, or maybe there's a station along this line that has 2 platforms where we'll probably see another service on the return. I don't know, we'll see. I'm ready to be surprised or just disappointed. But then again, in real life, I don't know if maybe there's just only one service that goes back and forth. Right, throttle off now. Gonna get a bit of braking now. Yeah, like this kind of station here, like it's 2 platforms, so this would be a nice, great area to have another service come through and then wait for me, and then I go through, and then it carries on to Minehead. Some people walking up on the platform, ready to board my service. Yeah, this is really, really like slow to react to build up on speed. Like, if I would need a little bit more power now just to crawl me through the station, it really takes a bit of time. I'm not gonna lie. Right. I think that should be fine. I think all the coaches should be on the platform. Right, let's unlock left. Let's go and have a little walk, and I want to actually go into the carriages because obviously I can't go through the actual loco itself. There we go. Little Easter egg thing. I do like these old kind of old style vintage signs. They're really cool. Oh, this is cool. I do like this, and I miss these old school sort of like. I've never been really on like a vintage train like this. I think the closest to vintage is slam door trains that I've been on, like on the old Southern Conex kind of routes down to Brighton. That's the only kind of thing that I experienced of these kind of like old trains. But really nice. I do like the whole aesthetic of it. And then that's all my passengers gone off there. Some of these ambient sounds are a little bit, it's a bit too much. Like, Like it's like I'm in, like in a, you know, the hills are alive with the sound of music kind of vibe here. Like it's not really like. I want more sound of the actual train. But that was a good little walk around. I like that. There we go. Close that. Right. Let's lock the left doors and let's get going. Let's rock and roll. Next station is Washford. Oh, now. Ooh. Denied, no route available. Is this a red signal? Do I know how to read semaphore signals? That is a red signal, right? Surely that is a red signal. Yeah, that's a red signal. Is there a service coming? But that's a red signal too, so does that make sense? And yeah, this signal is marked for a train possibly coming. So I don't know. Well, I sorted the issue. I just restarted the scenario and just basically got up to the same kind of current location that we left off. I did fly over and try and see if there was a service. There was no service in front. Let me tell you, there wasn't. I went quite far, and but the signal does seem to be working. I think it was because I was not on time that maybe the signal just wasn't scripted to allow me to go through at a certain time or whatever. But we're all good now. We're all catched up on time as well. Normally what I should do, and normally what I've been doing recently, which I've got to do in this video, is I normally, when I speak at the beginning, I load into a scenario, but then I restart the scenario and do the scenario from the beginning, because obviously there's things I want to say before I get actually driving, but that obviously takes a bit of time, and in this case it resulted in a signal not really giving me my way. But I restarted and I got back to here. Look how good of a person I am. Like, you know, I repeated all of that what we just did. For you guys, it doesn't change at all. Like, it just transitions into basically us continuing from here. But for me, I just sat and had another nice little journey to Blue Anchor again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Oh, I was like, why did the signal change? And I'm like, that was very odd. But we're going. We're good. I'm not complaining. Our next station is Washford, as I said, not too long ago. For you guys, it wasn't too long ago. For me, it was quite a while ago because I had to redo all of that. But we're here. We're continuing. Hopefully now, no problems, and we're all on time actually, which is really good. It's like I resetted myself within the video. Like, I'm so good that I can make up a 15-minute delay like that. With the magic of restarting again and editing it in to just continue. But it's all good. We're continuing here now. But I need to have a little bit of a chat with you guys. Obviously, you guys haven't seen me in quite some time. There's a lot of new subscribers here that, like, obviously have seen some of my latest stuff, but haven't really seen me in recent times. There's people that have been here for ages and are like, oh, we're just used to this kind of like, this kind of regime that QWERTY runs here. Just, you know, he gives us a few videos and he buggers off for a bit and then comes back and rains upon us with content. You know, do give me some suggestions as well of what kind of stuff you want to see on my channel. I do kind of want to get into some new games and stuff like that. I don't want to, one thing that I think over my years of doing YouTube is doing the same game really does get tedious, especially with something like my popular games. That's why I stopped doing OMSI, even though I am going to make a return to OMSI at some point, as well as with Lotus Simulator. But doing like, say, something like Train Sim, it's just the same thing over and over again, even though there are new routes and stuff like that. But with the original Train Sim 1, there's nothing really that surprises me or makes me, like, it's just a new route at the end of the day. That's why when Train Sim World was on the table, I really was excited, because I wanted to see something different, maybe like with the multiplayer, some new features, something a bit more different instead of just driving A to B. And so far with Train Sim World, it's just more just a disappointment for me, but there is potential with it. But it's just if Dovetail want to go in and give us that potential that this game could actually have. Because right now it's just basically Train Sim 1 with just better graphics and you can walk around. That to me is all that's different really with Train Sim World. Don't know if you guys agree with me with that. Do let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments down below. But yeah, I do want to get back into OMSI, and I want to still obviously continue things like Fernbus. There is that football Bundesliga DLC that looks really promising. I've seen like loads of people give it really good reviews and actually say that it really adds to the game and adds like basically a whole different game to Fernbus, which is something like really good. I thought Fernbus was fine, like it's like Euro Truck without like all the management stuff, but obviously this new DLC actually adds that sort of extra level of management, and it gives a completely different side, because obviously when you were doing all the normal service stuff on Fernbus, it was just, oh yeah, pick up passengers, go here to here, log into the app, check in customers. But now you have a thing where you have a more involved kind of, you know, service where you're, well, it's more like a private service because you're doing this for football teams, and then you have to go to hotels, airports, matches, stadiums and stuff like that. So there's more things and more versatility in that game now, and I'm really looking forward to continuing with my series on Fernbus, and do expect some Fernbus videos because I really want to continue with that and just see where it goes. And there's obviously like things like City Bus Simulator in Berlin when that comes out, whenever TML release that. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to in terms of like games and stuff like that. There's a developer that emailed me a game called Stormworks, which is this like build and rescue sort of game where you build your own like craft, like your planes, ships, etc., and you do missions and stuff of like search and rescue. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really, when I tried it out, I wasn't really that much into the creative aspect. I was just like downloading anything I can off the workshop and testing out all these cool vehicles and stuff that people created. And I'd probably make like some sort of video of it, testing it out, or maybe even a series if you guys want to. I think I got a key as well for the new fishing game that Dovetail actually released, which is kind of funny. Like, it's basically, well, I don't know if it's good or not, but obviously there was Eurofishing that flopped or whatever, so they re-released it as Ultimate Fishing or something like that. I don't know. Could give that a go, because I think I remember actually, like, I had to look back because they gave me like a key for this new fishing game, and I was like, why are you giving me a key for a fishing game? And I realized I actually did a video on Eurofishing when it first like came out. And well, I like, you know, I don't know, I'm not really into fishing, so can't really, you know, invigorate myself to kind of be like, yeah, we're fishing. Like, I like trains, so doing videos on Train Sim or Train Sim World is a bit more up my street, while fishing was just like, yeah, but this new game looks so I don't know, it still has multiplayer like the old game, but who knows, I might give it a check out maybe if you guys want me to cover it on the channel. I don't know if there's like any other kind of games as well. But I was saying, like, I want to do like get back into like Metro Sim, because that has like a lot of cool new stuff currently. I like just gave it a go the other day and I was like, wow, they added a lot of stuff. Like, I was blown away with the amount of stuff that's been, like, I think the last time I played it was like 3.10 or 3.11, maybe 12. It's now on 3.14, and they've added like more updates to the second map, and they've added another map, and I think one more as well. But they have the Glasgow subway in that game now, which I was like, wow. Oh, a little bit too much braking there, but we just got to do it. We got to do it. Unlock right. What time were we supposed to be here? I think 53. How are we looking? Just pop my head out here. See how the passengers are faring. Not many passengers at this station. Like you can definitely feel like it's like sort of like heritage kind of like railway. Like it's not really like a main line where, you know, you'd see trains coming every like 10 minutes or something like that. It's cute. Right, let's get back sat in here. We'll lock the doors when we get told to and be on our way to the next station. I definitely think if you like something relaxing, this is definitely a really good route. Like just relaxing, no real pressures with times and stuff like that. No like really hard short intervals to make between stops. This is just like a cruise in a way. This is like a cruise in the train world. Right, watch it. If I'm saying it right, watch it, watch it. I don't know what that sound is. Is that a compressor or something? I don't even know. Sounds nice. A bit more feedback and, you know, bounce off from the engine. Yeah, that was something. That was, I don't know if that was charging up something. I don't know if that's the brakes or something. I don't know. But I enjoyed that. It's nice to hear variations and stuff like that, because obviously when you do drive a train, you're not going to hear that. Like, you do hear predominantly the same stuff, but there are little things, little ninks and tinks, and, you know, like there's this stuff, you know, stuff that you hear and you're like, oh, what's that? And like, you know. But so far I am enjoying this route. You know, I don't really see myself wanting to play it more than maybe a couple of times, because it's a single line. There's no real variation on it. There's obviously not much AI because it's a single line track, which obviously isn't the fault of the actual like route. That's just how the route is in real life. But you know, I'm still looking for variation in Train Sim World in terms of like the examples I gave when I covered the Great Western Express. Is I want branch lines and stuff like that. I don't want to just do one thing where it's just this point to this point. Like when you add more branch lines and stuff and variations, it makes it more interesting, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do a service from here today and do it to here, and there'll be some varying traffic, etc. And that's the kind of thing I like in Train Sim, where you can find like a route that you know, like the South London network, where you have things to do in it, you know. Oh, I need to slow down here. Be a bit of a naughty driver here. I think it'll go back up to 25 now. I think it was just for that crossing point. But yeah, a lot of slow speeds on this. This is definitely not... Yeah, there we go. It was just that crossing. Let's get back up to speed. But do give me suggestions and stuff like that. I really want to kind of get, and like, I love when I get a new game on the channel that kind of sticks, because I've tried doing certain games in the past and they've never really, like, obviously I don't want to waste you guys' time. Like, you know, you choose to subscribe to me, you choose, you know, like, even though there's times where I don't really too much care about, like, say if a video or a game with a series gets views or not, like, I'll do it. Like, example is like Bus Sim 18. If that didn't get too much views, I would still like doing it, because I do like doing that series with Mike, and we're definitely going to continue it. It's great that you guys like watching it, so we'll, you know, we'll continue to do it. But you know, there have been like games in the past that I have, you know, given a little try, and you know, it doesn't resonate with you guys, and then even sometimes it just doesn't resonate with me. But if I do find games that like I really enjoy playing and actually enjoy making content on, then you know, I'm gonna do it. And there are some interesting games that I've been, you know, looking and playing. Like I think I've also been getting back into streaming as well on Twitch. I've been thinking, oh, like, hey, if I want to be streaming mainly on Twitch, or maybe if I want to try streaming on YouTube, just keeping it all in one place. Loads of kind of things I'm thinking of. But I'm back on Twitch as well, whenever I can, really. So if you want to know when I'm streaming, just the best thing to do is to follow me on Twitch and get notified by like email or alert on your Twitch app or whatever on your phone. That's probably the best way to see if I'm streaming. But I've been playing like a game called Cliff Empire, and it's like a really cool like city builder, very modern. It's like a post-nuclear Earth with like man-made cliffs that like you can build cities on, and basically you're trying to make everyone who was on Earth and is now in space. So you need to recolonize Earth on these cliffs, and it's a interesting city builder, and I quite like it. There's like city builders that are coming out like in the future, like Anno 1880, that look really interesting, that I might even consider maybe even doing a series on when they do come out, as well as even like Tropico 6 that's recently come out. I think I have Tropico 3 on my computer. I've never touched it, but I always like the idea of the Tropico kind of game, like being a dictator. I think that's really clever and really cool, but I just never, you know, had the time to play it. But I watch other people play it on like other YouTube channels and stuff like that. It looks really fun. Right, we should be coming up now to watch it. I'm gonna get corrected in the comment section, I already know. Do apologize if I do pronounce any of these names wrong. But I'm also looking forward to the thing with Train Sim 2019. I don't know. I'm not hyped for it. Like, I'm glad that 64-bit is going to be an option in the game, but obviously, like, the best way to test out that 64-bit is on those routes where you did have the the bad stability issues, etc. That's where I'm going to be looking. You know, those kind of routes where you have a lot of like, say like in the Clapham Junction area on the like London to Brighton, etc. There's loads of things that are like I want to kind of like test out with it on like stability, or like if AI will run better, if bigger maps with loads of kind of like routes and branch lines and stuff like that. I'm gonna be looking at that more than anything else. There's nothing really else to kind of look at it. There's nothing that's going to be changing visually about the game, just the different lineup of DLCs that come with it as per usual with each year of the update. But this is a update that I'm more like, this is a proper update. This is a proper kind of like, you kind of like, you know, Dovetail, you deserve to call this like the next train sim, because this is, I think, significant, even though nothing visually is changing, but something having like going from 32-bit to 64-bit is actually quite a bit of, you know, has quite a bit of significance to it. And even though most people will be like, oh, nothing's changed or whatever, blah blah blah, I don't know, because most people, probably maybe run 32-bit. Like, I don't know, I'm exaggerating maybe his statistics or whatever, but I would guess that most, maybe like 60% of the player base that like owns Train Sim probably maybe don't, they're the ones that have maybe 32-bit operating systems and 32-bit computers or laptops, etc. And then maybe 40%, or maybe even it's like 50-50 or something like that. I don't know if most people still have 32-bit systems, or maybe most people do have 64-bit systems. But the thing is, there's going to be a huge amount of the actual train sim community that will not see a thing. They won't feel at all a thing. If you have a 32-bit system, you're not really going to feel any sort of advantage of the 64-bit upgrade. But if you do have 64-bit, that's where things get interesting and things get better, and especially people that have better PCs, higher spec PCs, will be able to utilize that 64-bit architecture for the update of the game. And the game should be a bit more stable, run a bit better. It's not going to be leaps and bounds. It's not like you're going to load on and drive through Clapham Junction perfectly and smoothly, like, you know, 200 FPS or whatever, but it will be hopefully a lot better. Hopefully less errors will kind of get thrown your way, less dump errors, etc., less, like, you know, crashing out the game. That's hopefully what I hope. The 64-bit just makes the game stable and just more, you know, usable for those kind of more intensive maps. And then obviously the options of extending maps and having maps, you know, be much longer than they are, because obviously 64-bit allows like longer maps. So people are saying, oh yeah, we can now do London to, you know, Edinburgh or Glasgow, and that's fine. I'm not personally going to sit here and drive from London to Glasgow. I don't think any driver in real life that actually does that, or like do Penzance to Aberdeen or something like that. You know, I'm not going to sit here and do that, because I don't think that's even realistic in real life. But there is an option then to do that. But it's more like, I think it's more the kind of mid-sized maps now, the mid-large maps, where you can have like kind of longer connected things, instead of having stuff that you would think, oh, it's only going to be like 100-ish miles or something like that. It could be a bit now like 150 or 200 miles or something like that. So I don't know. It'd be great to have longer and larger and more, like, you know, realistic maps, like, you know, from having like the whole entire network of something. It's not going to really like entice me to play the whole map now, because I'm not going to sit here for 7-8 hours driving of, you know, London to Edinburgh or London to Glasgow. Like, you know, I have better things to do with my life. But it's going to be great that you're going to have to, you can stitch maps together. Maps can be, or future DLC that gets released by Dovetail, now they're not restricted to kind of keep it a certain size. They can add more, and then hopefully, even though their price structuring will not, I guess, change, you're going to be getting more maybe for your money, I guess. I don't know, but well, we shall see. And I should have been at 15 now, shouldn't I? Donny Ford Holt. Coming up now. Oh. This is a very short platform. So I'm guessing only like maybe 1 or 2 coaches will be able to, or 3 maybe potentially. I do like those signs that like give you the direction of like what, like which way is which way, you know. I like that. I'm gonna go a little bit more forward with the loco, because to be honest, the loco doesn't really need to sit on the platform, in all fairness. Oh, that's perfect. Unlock left. Yeah. Oh, this is a cute little station. And I like the foliage and stuff. It looks pretty. Like, I'm not gonna deny this at all. I think that's just a... Whoa, okay. Okay, the doors are open. These 2 carriages shouldn't really open, but okay. I guess this is, I don't know if that's actually known that this actually happens. That shouldn't really happen, but maybe that it may. Well, to be honest, you can open doors like this. I don't know if there's like any sort of like automatic lock and stuff on these doors, if they've been modernized, or if they actually just, you can just open them even when the train's moving. But That's interesting. Because in Trains in 1, you will never be able to open doors like this unless it was scripted in a way like on the Frankfurt, like metro trains on the Frankfurt map from Just Trains. Like that, you can open the doors anywhere, like you don't have to be at a platform, but for most stuff it's scripted to only open on like a platform. Let's look left and let's get going. Willerton is our next station. And I've been looking at this suspension of these bogies, and they do move. They sway a bit. They go up and down. One thing I wish there was more of, which I don't see even in this game, is like, you know, carriages moving and swaying, because the thing is, tracks in real life are not like this straight. Like there are undulations in tracks, and these carriages should kind of bob left and right a little bit, not like stupidly or whatever, but they should kind of move a bit with the actual undulation of the track. But obviously in this game, look at this track, it's just absolutely straight. Like there's no like dips or anything of it. And in most places, yeah, even in real life, there are like places where it's just so smooth. But in, like, you know, out in the wilderness or whatever, you know, the ground moves or whatever. It's not fixed perfectly in most places, and you do get a little bit of, you know, a little bit of undulation, not crazy amounts, but enough to make the train sway a bit. And that's why, like, having no head sway like here is a bit weird, because yeah, the train isn't fixed, it has suspension. But that'd be like something I would like to see, like more kind of swaying kind of stuff like that. Because I don't even think Trains in 1 had that. I don't think. But it's all to dream, really. Me and Sandra here, just taking in the views and just enjoying life. That gorgeous sun baking us. It's probably cold outside anyway. It is getting cold nowadays now in the UK, which is, you know, expected. They did say, like, at the beginning of summer that the heat would last to October, which it actually has. Like I remember when because recently I was on holiday. I was in Croatia, and when I came back, it was kind of a mixture of cold and there was still days where there was like quite a nice bit of heat, and I was like, wow, like the UK is still producing some fine days. Ah, and here must be the other service that I was talking about, that I was correct, that there was another service here that waits for us. That's great. Let's just keep a little bit of power so we don't slow down too much, because there's still so much weight to kind of like keep at a speed like at this kind of like 10 mile an hour. If you completely like let it coast, it will slow down, because that weight will just want to naturally just stop, unless we're on a bit of a down gradient. Nice. And I'm guessing that's now waiting for a green signal, which it has gotten. And now there's another red signal here, which I hope will go green. There we go. Let's unlock the doors. Oh, and that is off. And that, oh god, wow. I still like need to get used to that. When you in the free cam mode, you can't go through objects, they're actually physical things. But there you go. There's the only AI I think we'll probably ever see, I think, on this service. Maybe one more, I'm not too sure. But I think that is it. That's the only other movement of trains you're going to get in this video, I think. that isn't controlled by me. Goodbye, friend. Right. Let's get back here. I can see the people going into the village. Off to have some lunch. I would suspect at 1:15 in the afternoon. Right, let's then close the doors. We are ready to rock and roll. Let's get a bit more speed here. Next station is... oh, whoa. This is a name? Wow, this is... Stogumber. Stogumber? It's like... That's a really interesting name. Stogumber? It's either Stogumber or Stogumber. So it's either Stog and Umber or Stow and Gumber. I think it's Stogumber. I think. That sounds more realistic to me. Like, I don't think Stogumber. That sounds like a weird month. Like if we had a 13th month, Stogumber would be a great 13th month. It's like, oh, there comes December with Christmas and the New Year, and instead of January moves aside and we get Stogumber. Or maybe between November and December we get Stogumber. So we just have like one more month to prepare for like Christmas and stuff like that. But that does sound like a month. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but Stogumber. But I think the name is probably pronounced Stogumber. Stogumber. A bit of a gradient here. Very little, like 1%, and it's meaning the acceleration is a little bit harsh. I don't really hear any sort of different, like the windows here, like I don't really hear any sort of difference with the sound. It sounds exactly the same with them open or closed. Like it sounds exactly. I don't know if you guys have heard anything, but I don't hear anything different. Man, I hope they... I don't know if they'll be able to fix like this blurriness of the wheels. Like right now I'm not running with the motion blur on, but when you turn motion blur on, the wheels still like fuzz up a bit, which is a bit annoying. Oh, this gradient is actually going up, so I'm going to have to keep a bit more power on the throttle. Like, do you see how this coach now is slightly? You can see the suspension working here. You can see it kind of going up and down. You can see that. That is really nice. But one thing I don't see is, if I can get like a... Maybe I should use the free cam actually for this. Oh, there's very little. There's like very slight swaying, but I wish there was a bit more. Yeah, there is a bit, but I wish there was a tad bit more. Not like too exaggerated, but I do believe that coaches do sway a little bit more to the eye in real life, I think. Or maybe, like, as I said, like certain points of like a route with the track are a little bit more undulated than others, and some are a bit more like straighter than others. But then again, in here, in this cab, I should be, you know, feeling a little bit, I should be swaying a little bit left to right, you know. I am in the loco and you have a bit of sensation. But I do praise the continued like patches and updates on Train Sim World in terms of the stability portion of the game. Like if I put my mind back to when this game was in beta and then when it actually released, I couldn't play it. Like it was like, this is the same specs I have like from when it was in beta. I couldn't play the game in beta. It was horrible to play. FPS was terrible. There was no optimization whatsoever, and even when the game released there was no optimization until like not too long before Great Western Express came out. But even when Great Western Express came out, it was not good still with optimization. But now you can see like it's a completely different game. If you watch some of my videos when I covered it when it was in beta, oh my god, this game was like it's horrid. It was horrible to play. And then now playing in this kind of silky smooth, probably like 60 or 70 FPS now, it's heaven really. But this is a nice route. It's simple, you know, has a bit of charm, but I can see why people wouldn't see it as much of anything. Like you'll play it once or twice back and forth and then you'll think okay, and then you might drive it in the other kind of diesel or shunter, the class 09, do again back and forth, and then you'll think to yourself, okay, I might change the weather settings, I might make it a bit snowy, make it a bit rainy, maybe at night, even though I don't know if this actual railway runs at night. It would be no real point. But once you do that, and then you think to yourself, okay, okay, I guess this map's done all its justice really, and then you kind of think, okay, what's the next map? And that's the kind of thing with Train Sim Mod right now. It's just literally we get these new maps, we get these new routes with like a few trains, not a lot of trains or variations and stuff like that. You play it a few times and then that's it. Like there needs to be a bit more in this next gen kind of game, and there needs to be something more that will result us coming back to the same maps, to the same trains and stuff like that. Something, you know, variation is the word I'm looking for. And maybe when steam locomotives come in, this map will be a bit more interesting. Maybe when multiplayer comes in, this map will be a bit more interesting. Who even knows if multiplayer is coming in as well? I have no idea. I don't even know if that's a thing still. I have no clue. Probably is. Like, it is a promised feature, but just who knows when it will actually get around to it, because I think there's still more things to do with the actual groundworks of the game. But even though we've come a long way, I do think multiplayer is something maybe we should think about. But I don't know how, like, they're structuring it. Maybe they want to release more maps. Like, I don't know. Because I think maybe even to test out something multiplayer related, do it on like a safe kind of map. Like this map would be ideal to kind of give multiplayer a go, give it like, make it a benchmark or a testing ground basic, because obviously it's a single line and you're thinking to yourself, hey, this is a single line, this is probably the most pointless map to do multiplayer on. But in the beginning, early stages of multiplayer, this would be great to test on, because maybe max of maybe 3-4 people will be able to realistically drive services on this map or do really anything. So you have 3-4 people on this line, you have maybe 2 people that are running actual hauled services, and maybe you have an extra backup service, and then someone that's just like in a hauler that maybe has to like move certain wagons to like the other side of the line or something like that. And then you have, you know, 2 of you are driving a service from back to front, you pass each other at that kind of point of like where there's 2 platforms that are stations or whatever. One person's like an extra service comes on and you have to like wait at a certain station if it's like if you have to wait for one of you guys to go through, etc. It's not that like complicated, it's simple, but it's something where like I can see that's where multiplayer in its early stages could be if we're testing out something like that. And then potentially you can have someone that's a shunter in the sidings and stuff like that. You finish a service, you uncouple your loco and maybe take it somewhere that you might need to maybe back up the line to get some more coaches, and then someone who's already at the depot on one side comes in with a shunter loco and takes those coaches into the siding or something like that. I don't know, like different tasks and stuff like that for people that are on like a route like this. And I just think on a route like this where it's small, it's not really small, but like, well, who am I kidding, it is not the longest route, but it's not the most complicated route. It's a single line. You do have some double line track for passovers. You could easily test out some sort of multiplayer kit on this. Right, coffee and chicory? Classic table mustard. Well, I don't expect any less from Stogumber. Oh, sorry, mate. Household luxury curtains. Western Superman. Nice. Right, well, I think we're at poster. Oh, okay. Thank you. I wish also we could enter like waiting rooms and stuff like that. Like that should have been something that they could have like open a door, you know, waiting room. Not hard. Just a bit more substance. Right, let's lock that and get going. Crocombe Heathfield is next station. That's the next station. Oh. I guess I need a bit... Wait. I guess I need a bit of build-up here. Train. Why are you not commanding to my Did I turn off the train by accident? No, the train's still running. That's very odd. Right. Okay. Okay, I thought I had to maybe apply a little bit of brake to give, because we're on a gradient. No, that's weird. I don't know why there was rollback. But, well, no, yeah, we're on a gradient going up, so yeah, there is... Yeah, okay, but I thought I had to put on a bit of brake, but it was weird. Like, I had to put a bit of brake, release the power, and then put power, but there was no power then, and I was like, what's going on here? Just needed like another little reset again. Bit awkward. But we're off and away. I don't know how many more stations there are. I have literally no idea of like what stations are coming up or whatever, so we're just taking this all in our stride. Having a nice long, it's gonna be a long video, but you know, it's fine. It's fine for a comeback, for a smooth comeback. We're doing a nice smooth cruise of a journey today, and I'm fine with that. For anyone that's to this point of the video, how you doing? You've braved out the storm. I remember when I actually, when I've done like really long videos, I think before I did like a thing where I would say, if anyone got to this point of the video, you need to comment down below like a word. And then basically there's people in the comments section who just commented some random word, and people were like, why are you commenting this or whatever? And then they were like, well, you need to be part of that special club that gets to the end of a video, or like to the like later stages of a video, and then if you get there, then you know what the special word is. I think maybe I'll do it again. So if you've gotten to this part of the video, which, hi, how you doing? You can comment down below. I don't know, what can you comment down below? Something relevant. You can comment down 64-bit is 64-bit is coming. Comment that down below if you got into this part of the video. 64-bit is coming. Smiley face or something like that. I don't know. Like, you can be creative with anything at the end of it if you want to put any sort of emote or emoji or whatever you like. But for anyone that's part of this club, exclusive club, because it is exclusive, not everyone gets to this part of the video. Like, not everyone does that. And I thank anyone that does actually, you know, brave it out and listens to me all to the end. But you know, it's an exclusive club. Not many people will ever know that this place exists. So anyone that's got up to here, comment down below 64-bit is coming with an emoji at the end or smiley face or something like that. I look forward to seeing those comments. Sandra. Like, it would be cool, like, right now, that could be someone, technically. Like, you could also have some, like, multiplayer doesn't even have to be something where, like, someone else can, like, do something. Multiplayer could be literally the simple fact that we can be both on the same map, and you just come in and sit with me and drive with me, or you drive me, and I just sit here and I, you know, we chat, or whatever. Like, it could be as simple as that. Like, I think that could be really, like, if they're gonna implement things in stages, which kind of they are with, like, all these kind of, like, different, like, routes and stuff, they try a different thing each time with the release. If multiplayer comes in stages, I think it would be really cool if we start off with something so simple, like someone can just be on the same map and they can come in and sit with you, like this NPC is doing. And they sit and they just tag along. And then, you know, you get more complicated, like you can drive different services, etc., do different tasks, etc., signaling. Someone could be a signaler on the line, etc. Like, you know, build it up. But I definitely think something like this, very simple. You have someone that just sits next to you, joins you on your journey, just enjoys the scenery, doesn't even have to do anything. Maybe just even have like an engineer on board that just, you can tell someone, like, you sit down and then you tell them, switch on all the stuff I need if you're doing like a cold start. Something so simple like that, like, you know, nothing complicated. Then obviously you don't want something too simple, like you don't want to keep it, if the multiplayer does get released and it's just really simple stuff, then it's like, really, okay, like, great. But I hope it does get like a bit more intuitive and there's like cool things that will hopefully be released with it. A nice little signal. I love these, I love the effect of these signals, the kind of faded flash. I like that. These are quite modern signals actually, I think. Do a little watch as we cross the signal. And also increase the power because moving quite slow, but it's still going up a gradient. We're going up is it going up terrain? I'm running like 2 minutes behind. But we should be coming soon to Crocombe Heathfield. Or Crocombe. Actually, to be honest, this route in the night would be interesting because obviously you're not in the city, you're like out here, and there's quite a lot of vegetation and kind of like trees and stuff around that enclose the line. It'd be really nice to see how the lighting kind of reflects onto the foliage and onto the vegetation in the night, and especially maybe like in a foggy, something like fog, like in a foggy night. I might try that actually. That sounds interesting. definitely want to do some more like night services and stuff like that. I tended not to do them in Train Sim 1, but in this game, because of the lighting and the Unreal Engine, like I think I might give a go at doing some more night, because I don't think I've actually done a night route in Train Sim World yet in my kind of like series. So maybe something like that to watch out for. Right, now approaching Crocombe Heathfield. Another double track here, another double platform for like, you know, cross point. Like all the flowers and stuff like that, very kind of heritage railway-esque. And to be honest, we can stop any time now. I think all the carriages are on the platform. It's quite a long platform. I think that's perfect, lovely. Unlock left. Are those 2D? Really? Wow. Seeing 2D plants in Unreal Engine. Well, I guess you gotta cop out somewhere. All aboard. This train is ready to depart. Well, not yet, but do you have a green signal? That hopefully doesn't change into a red one. Right. Right, then clear off the closing doors. And the next station is Bishop's Lydeard. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologise. Dird? Dird, yeah. Dird? Lydeard? Lydeard? I don't know. And I'd say Bishop, so I'm saying the place 50% right. Oh, I like that. Like, a little bit of track there that just, you know, obviously maybe was something before, but just remnants of it left. I like that. Little details like that. Gorgeous. But yeah, overall, as I said with this West Somerset Railway route, I think it's very pretty. But I don't see the replayability until maybe steam engines and stuff get into here, because obviously these diesel locos are not really highly used on the actual route in real life. So it's great, you know, more diesels. We've had diesels, you know, since the beginning of Train Sim World, so it's nothing new really. But I do look forward if once steam actually gets implemented, it'd be great to revisit this route and, you know, come back. And obviously I'll probably do another video on this route with the other diesel shunter, the Class 09. I might do one of the scenarios that comes over where we'd just like take carriages onto the sidings or do some like shunting movements or something like that. But I thought I'd just do the video, the full length with the Class 47, and do a nice passenger service, which I've enjoyed it. It was nice, relaxing. It's not, you know, even though I've managed to still be late on this route, but what can I say? It's difficult because obviously I'm not going that fast, and even though I've been over speeding, I've not really been catching up with the time. So these timings are a bit tight, but you know, I tried. And obviously at the beginning I had to restart the scenario because that signal was just not having me. It was just like, you were too late. You were too late to proceed. I'm pretty sure maybe that train ahead that I passed, like obviously now, the only train that we passed, maybe that went ahead, and then that meant that I'd probably would have had to wait for that AI to kind of come all the way to where I was at Blue Anchor, I think. So I had to be on time basically, or it would have probably just, you know, signaled the AI to have, you know, authority to go through. Right. Oh, we end up with a bit of a down gradient now. Yeah, I'm really feeling this now. It's been, the train's just loosely just gaining speed. Alright, we can just put initial application for now. But do tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. As well, would like my kind of comeback and stuff like that. Any suggestions, any kind of games you guys would like me to play more of, or like even ones that I've had previously played on the channel, etc. OMSI will return at some point. And even other stuff, any new stuff, just feel free to give me some suggestions, and you know, I definitely will continue with Train Sim Mod as well. We're obviously covering the rapid transit and that new German route at some point. And with Train Sim, obviously when Train Sim 29 comes out, and I've obviously want to try the Portsmouth Direct line now, the updated Portsmouth, from now you can drive from Waterloo to Woking, which is great. I think they've also included the Hampton Court branch line. I don't know if they've included the Chessington South branch line as well. That's the kind of variation and versatility in a route I like, when you add those kind of extra options that you can do, instead of like, oh, it's just Waterloo to Woking. No, you can do Waterloo to Hampton Court if you want. And that just adds a lot more flavour to a route. But obviously not all routes in real life have branch lines and stuff like that, but where you have, that's especially, like obviously on the Great Western Express, like from London to Reading, you do have a few branch lines that pop off either side, and not having them accessible, it just makes it just a very linear plain route. But then I look forward to when we actually have an electric locomotive that we can play on that line, like the 387, because that would be just a nice variation instead of just, and even maybe the IEPs, the Hitachi IEPs, the 800s, or 802s I think, or 801s, I don't know. The bi-mode Hitachi 800 series. Have them as well. And then you have 4 different like locos, including the 66 as well, that you can drive for freight. So, you know, stuff that can be added there. It's, you know. But then with Dovetail, it's more, it really is more, and it's always been the kind of thing where they've made something and then they kind of just leave it and that's it. They move on to the next thing. And you need to, I think the thing that's just so good with other kind of games that like obviously work better is that it keeps getting updated, and things get like, it's, people retain the playability. They come back to play and repeat things. Like Eurotruck gets updated a lot on the same map and then gets extensions and added maps, and things get built upon. While with Train Sim, it's more like, oh, it's built, that's fine, let's move on and build something else. And I hope with Train Sim it's more of a reverse, like, okay, we have all these maps now, can we come back to them at some point, extend them, add more trains to them? Like the only kind of real thing they added so far in the whole Train Sim world cycle is they added one more diesel loco to buy as an add-on to the CSX heavy haul part of the route. What about Great Western Express? Can we get more trains for that? An extension for that? Rapid Transit could be have some more, like, even though I think Rapid Transit's a very linear route in real life as well, so I think that's the only, like, kind of, even though it's a very basic route and it is very like A to B, I think that's realistic basically. But definitely, like, Great Western Express could be extended. This route, I think this route obviously just needs more steam, and then it would do it good once like multiplayer becomes a thing. That's my opinion. I don't know. I've been playing these train sim games for years now. I feel like, you know, I feel old. That's probably what it is. But let me know. Do you agree with my comments, my assessment, my kind of opinions? Let me know your opinions as well. Like, I always like reading comments and responding to them, so. And obviously this route as well, it feels long. Like, this is a long video. I don't know how long I've been actually recording this, but definitely over an hour, maybe even close to 2 hours, but it feels long because obviously we're going at very really slow speed limits here. So obviously this route really feels massive, but it's not. Like, if we were going at like 60, we'd probably finish this maybe in half an hour. But there we go, Bishop's Lydeard dead. I kind of want to say bread, but like, there's no R and there's no B, but it kind of, when I glimpse over it really quickly, it reminds me of bread. So dead, Lydeard. Oh, does the line continue from here? That's interesting. Shop and cafe. Wait, why does it want me to stop all the way down there? Surely I should be wanting to... Okay, because now all my coaches are now on... They're on the platform. So surely... No, I'm gonna stop somewhere here. I'm reflecting on my passenger care here. Like, you know, obviously the game wants me to stop all the way at the edge over there, but I want everyone to just be able to glide out of their coach and go and buy some merch. Right, let's unlock left. Welcome to Bishop's Lydeard. Press E to start the finishing up scenario. What does that mean? Does that continue on from here, or...? Oh, that's cool. So, like, oh, okay. I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to do that, I don't think. But that's really cool that you can kind of, like, do a finishing up sort of thing. That's really, really nice. I like that. But I don't think I think I've driven enough. I don't want to drive anymore. Or maybe I do. Maybe I want to... I don't know what the finish... I think... Or maybe it means going all the way back. If that's the case, I don't want to do that. It might... if it was like, oh, drive like to the sidings or whatever, then maybe. Let's lock the doors. There we go. Perfect. Great. That was... Oh, that was... Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, okay. Wait. Why did I get an... so wait, look. So yeah, I arrived on time at Blue Anchor. And then I was late. Then yeah, I should get a tick for Blue Anchor because I arrived on the due time, and then I was late. Then 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and 3 minutes. Which, to be honest, not bad. Like, not amazing because this is a heritage line. You should really be on time. There's nothing really preventing you from arriving like on time. but not bad. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed. This is my kind of comeback onto the channel with Train Sim World, testing out the West Somerset Railway. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully to be doing more content for you guys now, like nearing up to Christmas and stuff like that. Do comment down below, let me know your thoughts and stuff to play and opinions and stuff that we talked about in this video. If you got up to near the end point where I was like, type in the comment down below. It's 64-bit. It's coming, I think the word was, and with an emoji at the end, and that will know if that will alert me that you've reached that point and you're part of the exclusivity club. The shoutouts again for this video go to Sense and X2K9. That's again Sense and X2K9. Their links and stuff will be down below. If you want to shout, use the QWERTY links form down below in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. It's great to be back, and I hope to do more content for you guys. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be a little calm on this one. Okay, watch on my wrist, skate in my Vans, flow so sick, put the files in the van. Maserati body on my Scotty too. Hottie got the fam that's overseas, so if I